Hi, I'm Jeannine.
And I'm Kris, and welcome to the Blue Fiber Tree.
Yeah, we're in a different area today because we're going to be talking about spinning wheels. But first,
schedules for long-tail knits and alchemy.
Absolutely. So the calendar for long-tail knits on the 17th, Beginners Tapestry from 5 to 8, and Beginners Macramé from 4 to 8. Two things going on the same day.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I have a lot of that.
I know. Listen, there's so many days in a month.
There are. Then on Saturday, the 20th, we have our regular Western Reserve Lace Society meeting from 10 to 1. And at the same time, our Fiber Trunk Show from 10 to 4 all day long, where Kathy, Kathy with Whistler's Glen or Alpaca Kid and You, she brings in all those extra things that we don't stock here in the store, and she sells them at a reduced price. Now, these events, I'm going to say it now before I finish, you can find out all the details under the events tabs on the longtailknits.com page, as well as the Facebook for Longtail Knits.
Absolutely.
So it's all there. All the information is there. And if you want to sign up for any of the workshops, you need to call me. On the 24th, we have a tapestry advanced workshop. It's the flower wall hanging.
Okay.
It's a lot of big poofy yarns and fibers. So she has it from 5 to 8. It's a Wednesday evening. And she goes, this is going to be quick because everything is super big. So it's one of those smaller projects like this, but it's roving, it's heavy yarns, and she's providing all of those materials. So it's going to be quick.
All right.
But you have to have taken the beginner's tapestry before you can take that one because it's an advanced workshop.
Gotcha.
Macrame Advanced Beginner Bowl on the 27th.
I can't wait to teach that bowl.
10 to 2. Yeah, because we had to cancel the first one, unfortunately, but we'll get it. And then back to needle felting. August 31st from 5 to 8, our lovely and always very popular needle felted 3-dimensional pumpkins.
Those are such a hit every year.
They're fun.
Everybody loves those pumpkins.
Yes. And we have kits for sale in the store if you want to do additional ones.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I love that she does kits with that.
Yeah.
I feel like people really love those kits.
They love the kit.
Because they're like, oh, I'm going to make one for me, and then I'm going to make one for Aunt Sally, and then I'm going to make one for so-and-so.
Yep. And one more thing on the schedule, September 6th through the 25th, Yarn Discovery Tour for 2022. Mark your calendars. It's going to be a long month, but it's a busy month. We have a lot of things planned.
I'm going to be so busy the next couple of weeks getting ready for that. I have so much yarn to dye.
The patterns that we're using this year actually happened. Both of them are Kris's original designs. Using her yarn.
I got the calcs all dyed. The calcs is good. I have my baby alpaca is good, but
the chenille.
My chenille and also acid. Even though there's not a pattern for the acid, I kind of wiped the acid out and got rid of some old colors that maybe people weren't fond of, or just things that said, "Hey, I'm too spring for right now." So I just got a bunch of deliveries of yarn at my house, and
you got 4 weeks.
No, yeah, sorta
between your regular job and this. There you go.
Let's go, folks. We got this. But yeah, no, lots of time for there.
Yep.
On the alchemy schedule today, actually, this airs the 14th, and on the 14th we have our first hand painted and roving class that I'm doing at the studio. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you aren't a part of that, boy, you should wait and see when I do it again because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Then on the 20th, it's a Saturday. I don't usually do Saturday classes at the barn, but the way that it worked out, I actually have 2 things going on the 20th. I have an open dye day, which anybody that has taken classes from me at the studio, not here in the shop, but at the studio, you can come in and either bring your own yarns and roving to dye, or you can buy rovings and yarn from me, and it's from 11 to 4, and the cost is $50, but you get the use of all of my tools, my dye, and then also my time.
Yep. Just knowing that you're there.
Yes, to help you through the math part of it, or the what do you think goes best with what. And then simultaneously, because we had a couple of people that couldn't make the variegated class, starting an hour earlier at 10 o'clock on the same day, I am actually teaching a variegated dye class at the same time. I am the queen of multitasking. I do this well. So I have a couple people taking that, and if there's anybody that missed the variegated class, I would take 1 or 2 more people for that class if you're interested. Again, that's August 20th. The cost for the variegated class is $150. The open session dye day is $50.
Yeah.
And again, I have things that you can purchase to dye, both worsted and non-worsted, superwash, non-superwash, whatever you want to call it. I'll get my words right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry.
You're fine.
And then I also have different types of roving available if people actually want to do that. I would say let me know ahead of time if you're doing roving. That way I can have tables set up for you for that. Because that takes a little more space than dyeing yarn.
If they're doing it on their own on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I just want to make sure that I have things set up ahead of time so you're not wasting your time.
Right.
So it should be a lot of fun.
So this is going to be interesting because not only do I have 2 events going on here in the store on the 20th, you've got that going on at your barn. Nice.
Yeah. August is a busy month, especially
as
we get ready for the yarn tour, and then right before the yarn tour starts, we have the try and dye class at the studio.
Yes.
I keep forgetting about that.
It's September 4th.
Yep, September 4th. I'm so excited. It's anybody that knows how to use a pin loom or a tri loom, as long as you have taken a beginner's class, you know what you're doing. If you have a 3-foot or a 4-foot loom, you can bring it to the class. I do have some 3-foot and 4-foot looms, and we are going to do a nice shawl. We're going to fringe it, and then I'm going to show you how to dye it after the fact, which is a lot of fun. There's not going to be like a whole lot of technical, like I'm not teaching you how to dye. I'm teaching you how to dye a specific item. So there is a little difference with that compared to what I normally do.
And there's a big difference of warping with dyeable fibers that are natural, and you're going to have some.
There's some art yarn. Yeah, I am spinning and spinning and spinning. I have some lock spun, core spun. I have some lock spun, core spun, coiled. Oh my God, that's a lot. But the way that it sits in the tri loom is really great.
Yep.
We're not warping every single peg because you need room for that shawl to bloom.
Correct.
And it's so beautiful. You can go onto my Facebook page. If you look under the try and dye class on Facebook, you'll see a picture of the one that I did.
It's in blue.
That's a sample. Yes.
Pretty. So the thing is, because you are using larger fibers, you have to give space. Where normally when I teach, we're doing every pin, nail, whatever you want to call it. If you're using bulkier yarns, you want to skip every other one, and sometimes it's every third.
Yes.
Because it just depends. If you're using that hand spun art yarn,
it takes up a lot of space.
It takes a lot of room, and you need room for it to be able to be free.
It needs to have some drape.
It needs space in there to work.
If you don't give it space, you end up with a piece that is like cardboard.
You get a rug.
You do. You get
it's
a rug.
Pretty rug.
Says the girl that's actually done that. Yeah.
It happens.
But it does. So I'm looking forward to that class. There's still, I think I still have 3 or 4 spots available left in the class.
I can't wait because
cost for that's $125, so it's not as expensive as the dye class. But you'll be happy. It'll be a ton of fun. I can't wait to see what color everybody picks to use for that day.
Right. I'm gonna have to get off a chestnut.
Please.
Enough.
Please. No more chestnut. You need to branch out. Bob's Blue Sky for you.
All right. But also, help us out if you have a long Afghan hook.
Lord have mercy. I didn't even think of that.
H or I, please bring them with you because you're going to need them.
And hopefully if you have your own, like if you have your own loom, certainly you have your own hook.
Are they
I'll
gonna
have
have-
enough. I'll have enough hooks.
Are
I'll
they-
have the combs and hooks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have combs and hooks for the people that use my looms. For those of you that have your own, hopefully you have your own hook, and I'll see what I can do about
Right.
getting extra combs in, because those do help. I don't need them as much.
Well, because you can
In
use your
the-
fingers.
Yeah, because it's so open.
Mm-hmm.
It does make a difference. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's a 5-hour class, 6-hour class. How are you going to get that done? Trust me. When I do my 3-foot loom with fringe, takes me maybe 2 hours.
Yep.
It's not difficult. There's not that many pins on a 3-foot loom.
No, and the 4-foot really isn't that much more.
Yeah, and when you see, if you go and look at the picture, I mean, you'll see it still looks full and fluffy and soft, and it has drape, but that wasn't every hole by any means. And you know, it went by really fast.
Yeah.
So, but that's what's going on with my schedule. I know if I didn't talk about the try and die class, we'd have gotten so far to the end of August that it'd been too late to talk about the try and die class.
Which is fine, because I mean, yes, that's just before. So the things that we're talking about are up to Labor Day.
Pretty much.
Yep.
And then after Labor Day, hello yarn tour.
Hello yarn tour.
And no sleep.
And lots of classes, because we still scheduled a lot of classes. She's gonna be busy.
We might have rescheduled one class. Sorry.
Football.
Baker Mayfield. Gotta watch him play. First game of the season. You guys know I'm a little bit of a football addict. I'm sorry.
A little.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Crazy for it.
Crazy.
But today, we're talking about, I know we did a video where we actually talked about all things spinning.
Correct.
And we did mention wheels. And we talked a little tiny bit about the wheels.
Right.
Today we're going to do a little more in depth about the wheels that you carry in the store, about the wheels that you can order in for the store. Everything here that Jeannine carries is Ashford.
Yes.
Like we are Ashford Wheels and Looms.
Ashford dealer. That is actually the wheel company that said, sure, no problem. We would love for you to sell our products in your store. That happened in 2016, and it has been a beautiful relationship between them and us, and it works. So we're going to talk about spinning and the wheels, more specifically the wheels. Now we do teach spinning obviously here in the store. It is more one-on-one. Kathy Arnold teaches that workshop. So if you want to learn how to spin the beginners, you're going to use our spinning wheels. It's a piece of equipment. We don't want you to make a huge investment unless you absolutely love it. But the other thing that you have to understand, spinning wheels have their own characteristics, and it depends on what you're going to be making as to which wheel you're going to want to purchase.
Or you end up like me and you have 5.
Correct.
I mean, who doesn't need 5 wheels?
Yeah. So
there's not 5
there
here,
you go.
but I have 5.
So if you want to do spinning, you just call me. I'll get your information, pass it on to Kathy. She'll contact you. You guys set your schedule according to your times, 2 3-hour sessions, approximately 2 weeks apart, here in the store. Okay? And you get to use the spinning wheels that we have in the store. Now we're going to talk about these different wheels. And we're going to start with the 2 wheels that are not represented here. And those are the Traveler and the Elizabeth spinning wheels. I don't have those in the store because seriously, I've never sold one to anybody.
I've never even seen either one of those in person to know if it was something I would want or not want.
I've seen the Traveler, and the Traveler basically is very similar to this. This part is over here, and it folds down. I'm going to tell you right now, because they have reinvented the Kiwi 3, you don't need that Traveler. This travels very well.
Absolutely, it does.
So those
and
are
if
the
you saw
2.
my banged up wheel today,
Yeah.
I didn't bring it with me because you'd never know it was an Ashford wheel because I podged the heck out of it. But that thing has been well loved, well used, well abused.
Dropped a few times. And we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
They're very well built. So those are the 2 wheels that I do not have here in the store. Okay. The wheels that we do have here in the store, we're going to start with this little guy right here. This is the Joy. The Joy comes fully assembled, lacquered, in its cute little carry bag. It's a backpack. You can easily tote this. You took it on an airplane.
I did take it on an airplane. Weighs 11 pounds.
Very light.
I mean, yeah. Now, I might have also made my husband tote it on his shoulder, but, you know, girl already had enough carry-ons. I needed my husband's shoulder for the extra carry-on.
You just sling it on your back and
Yep.
away you go. And turn that around. So the thing is, this is the setup that you get. Your Lazy Kate is down here, and this is when you have 2 full bobbins and you're plying here. You just pull from here. It's a double treadle. These legs fold up, and that's how you get it into the bag.
Slide in.
These guys go here. Those slide
come
up, and you lock it down, and you're ready to go. Very, very portable. You can carry it like this. 11 pounds. That's it.
Yeah, it is the only wheel I can spin thin on.
Correct. So she had issues spinning thin singles until she got this wheel,
and
and
now,
it was just like,
now I spin beautifully
it's
thin.
magic.
It is magic. There is nothing like this wheel. And the fiber that is actually on my wheel right now, I would like to drop kick it to the moon. Thank you, Rhonda. Rhonda. But I love you, so I'm going to keep spinning this fiber for you and hopefully not lose my mind. This is that fully synthetic.
Correct. It's not it doesn't have any wool in it. It's an acrylic.
Yeah. And it is annoying.
It can't be done. A couple of the customers here in the store actually spin the 100% acrylics.
And they love it. And I will tell you, after I do this for Rhonda, I won't ever do it again. I like my wool. Thank you very much. But I really, the transition to this was super easy.
Yeah.
It was, okay, get it in. Okay, open it up. Whoa, well, it's already put together. It's already lacquered. I don't have to beat the heck out of anything with a mallet to get a pin in place. So it was already together, super easy. I do have another maiden for this that is a jumbo flyer. Has a different orifice that's just like a circle, a little circle that hangs out in front of it for a bigger bobbin. I like it. I tend to spin better still with this. Like, it changes. I'm gonna spin thicker with that bigger.
Yep.
And I was really surprised, but I love it. It is one of the smoothest wheels I have ever touched. It just immediately sings.
Yep.
You know, and if you want to spin thin and you're struggling with spinning thin, I can't suggest this enough.
Right.
It makes the world a difference.
Yep. So thin spinning on that.
And what do these run?
So the Joy,
I try not to remember what I spent.
Is $8.90 with the double treadle, because you can also get it with a single, which is just $5 less.
$5 less?
Yep.
That's funny.
And then let's see what else. I don't have the adapter price on here.
Oh, okay. For the larger, for the jumbo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a couple $100 for that. Maybe.
But it's super easy and it's super fast.
Maybe it was $170, something like that.
I feel like it was, because I think when I was done after tax, I might have spent $1,100.
Yeah, it was less than a couple
We tried
$100.
to ignore that. But when you're putting it away, it's real simple. This little guy comes off, these little guys come in, those bend in, and the pedals come up. And then it goes right in the bag. And it's so nice. It's so easy.
And the bag comes with it, so it's
no extra price for the
ready
bag.
to go.
So, but yeah, love my Joy.
And you get 3 bobbins, so what you see is what you got right here.
Yeah, but you know what? Because I still have all the small bobbins from my Kiwi, they actually work.
They're the same.
Yeah, they work.
Bobbin.
So I actually have like 19 bobbins.
Yes.
Because you know me and my bobbin fetish.
This bobbin is the same, and it goes between the Kiwi and the Joy. And the Kiwi, we're going to talk about that one next. This is the workhorse of the Ashford spinning wheels. This is one of the wheels that is here in the store that you get to spin on. It actually has a super flyer adapter on it right now because I'm in the middle of course spinning a fleece. And
is that the Jacob from the spinning weekend?
So I have that bag over there on that chair. I have to finish
Okay.
running through the drum carder so I can finish spinning it.
Oof.
And then she's going to show me how to apply it.
I'm going to show.
This is the larger orifice. So what comes with it is a smaller maiden, one screw. You take this screw out, you put the other one on, change the drive band, and you're all set, ready to go. Now, the original, the standard Kiwi comes with 3 bobbins, Lazy Kate down here. Super Flyer adapter comes with 3 bobbins, and the Lazy Kate is right here. So it's all inclusive,
Yeah.
and I think the cost on this is $285, and it includes the flyer, the new drive band, 3 bobbins, and the Lazy Kate. Great deal, and I think it already comes lacquered as well.
I don't remember.
I think they changed it. I think they just go ahead and do it now. So that is really cool.
Love
and
my Kiwi.
you ready? The magic. Come on. Pop this off. Fold this up. Tighten it down. This also has a carry bag. They're $169.90. It's gray.
Yes.
Just like that. Just the bigger brother that holds this one. And it makes it
and there I go breaking stuff.
so much easier to travel with.
Now I will say, if you have your jumbo flyer on when you go to use your travel bag, you need to slide this band off, pop this off before you put it in, and then this will just slide down. There's plenty of room for extra bobbins and stuff. You will not be able to zip your bag fully with that, because I mean I've left it on and zipped it to where it had 3 inches at the top open, just because I was too lazy to take the bobbin off, or I had something on there that I didn't want to mess with.
Yeah. So,
but it will fit.
This is the workhorse, because with the standard assembly that comes with it, you can do anything from lace weight up to worsted weight, no problem. So what we normally do is we'll spin on the small, switch over to this, and ply on this so you don't have to break your yarn.
For people that spin worsted or smaller. But
yeah, so
I don't really do that, so we're good.
Yeah, and
my super flyer stays on all the time.
Yep. I'm constantly moving this in and out, and you can tell it's got this is the one we use all the time. If anybody walks in here without a spinning wheel, we start them on this one. So, and then in that 2-week transition period, we recommend that you try some of the other wheels too. So I'm going to move this one out of the way, and we're going to slide in this little guy.
The devil.
This is the traditional spinning wheel. It comes, now this one, the Kiwi, the traditional, and the country spinner, you have to finish the wood either by waxing it, lacquering it, whatever, and then assemble it. Now, this setup here, single treadle. This is a double drive, so you have a double strand. One goes around the bobbin, one goes around the whorl and the wheel. You can get a double treadle adapter for the traditional. This also comes as a single drive, which is more of what the Kiwi and the country spinner are. Fine. You're just going to do super small stuff on here. If you are going to do anything other than lace weight and trying to ply it, this wheel is not going to work. It will frustrate you. It is the more traditional style, which is why they call it traditional. It's pretty in your living room.
It sure is.
But if you want to have a functional wheel, not to say this isn't functional.
No, it's functional, and some people do like the traditional.
They do.
But it's your lace weight spinners that like
Correct.
it. Now, is there a larger bobbin? Like,
there is.
Do they have that possibility for
They
this?
do.
Okay.
You can get, I know it's available because they're a pain in the butt to put on. The basic jumbo flyer goes on here.
Oh, okay. All right.
So they're harder to transition because you have to remove this and this put in the other ones, put that on, redo your string.
strings. Okay.
Yeah. So that is.
It's pretty.
It's a pretty wheel.
I just don't do a lot of lace spinning.
No, I don't do that thin either.
And you
I
pretty
can,
thin.
but I don't.
Here, scoot that guy over there.
Now, big guy, country
Oh,
spinner.
This thing is a beast.
Yes.
For
Country
many
spinner.
reasons.
This is a 3-pound bobbin. Great for art yarn and chunky yarn spinning. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, double treadle. It has this cage frame.
Yes.
Large orifice. It has orifice reducer that you can put in there if you want to do thinner. It comes with 1 bobbin. So if you need more bobbins, you have to purchase them individually, and they're like $80 a piece.
Not cheap. Dear God.
They are not
Listen,
cheap.
I have a bobbin. I do. I have a bobbin fetish. Like, I want to have all the bobbins. I only have 1 extra of this because it's a lot of money. And on the side of here is where you can put your extra bobbins. You can use it like a lazy Kate if you put your bobbin in here.
Mm-hmm.
Does not work as well as the actual lazy Kate that they've come out with for the machine for this.
There's
but
a jumbo lazy Kate that
yeah,
will hold both of them.
and
Makes it
they
easier.
just sits at
Nice
a nice
angle.
angle. The thing I like about the jumbo lazy Kate, the little poles that we put our bobbins on, they come out. You unlock the thing, you slide them in there, you screw it in, and it's all one flat piece for storage.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, you don't have to leave it put together, which is awesome if you're traveling. Not that many people travel with their country spinner.
Right.
But, you know, for the spinning weekends or to go
Right.
hang out with friends, why not? But it's also easy just for storage when you're not using it.
This is 17.5 pounds.
Yes, it is.
The Kiwi is 12 pounds. The Joy is 11.
I
And
have no idea how much that traditional weighs.
17.5. It's the same as
that
this.
explains it.
They're heavy.
Yeah, this is not an easy lug around tool, but it's an amazing workhorse for a couple of reasons. For those of you, let's say that you are a thinner spinner and you're spinning sweater quantity,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and you use your Kiwi with the jumbo bobbin, let's say, you know, because they have an orifice reducer.
They do.
If you still want to use the jumbo.
This orifice and the orifice on the Super Flyer adapter are the same size, and the same orifice reducer will work on both.
Right. And let's say you did 4 bobbins on the Super Flyer and you just want to ply them. This baby plies fast.
Yes.
It plies fast, and
You can get.
this has a lot of uptake. I will tell you, for anybody that's never had a country spinner, I've used the store spinner a ton.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got mine together and used it on the spinning weekend. And for the first hour that I used it, there were a lot of very bad words coming out of my mouth.
It wasn't broken in yet.
It was not. I felt like I was on my Peloton going uphill. I'm like, what is going on? Marty, get over here. Is it me? And she sits down and does like, well, your legs are just stronger than mine. Whatever.
Plus, she wasn't spinning any fiber.
Well, I didn't think about that. And then, so I went over and I sat on it with it empty. And I'm like, oh, well, this is what I just broke it in already. Well, then I got fiber back on it. I went, oh. So, takes a hot minute to break this baby in. Also takes a minute to find your ratios that really, really work for you. Okay? Because you can set this in 3, 6, 9,
3, 4,
like 20,
5.
like a lot of different ratios. Because you've got the small.
Yeah.
That right here on the outside, and you can put that on any 3 of the bottom ones.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 different ratios alone. So each time you're moving that top one and the bottom one, you have a different ratio. It took me an hour
To figure it out.
a very frustrating hour, and I paid the pig quite a few
money.
bucks that day.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a minute to get mine to the right settings to where I was like, okay, because I know I spin art yarn well. Like, it's that's like the one thing I'm really, really, really good at. And the first probably 10 yards were like, I look like a kindergartner spun it. But I love this wheel just for the fact that it is a workhorse. And when you go to ply on it, it's so much faster plying on this than it is any other wheel.
It was. So when I finish that, when I go to apply it, it'll be done on here. Cause
for sure.
It's going to be full.
For sure. You'll probably, with the amount in that bag, you'll be on a second bobbin.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to get it all in one. Here, I want to show something.
Yeah, let me see how that happens.
So you also have to understand this hook system here for moving your leader or your yarn as you're spinning it onto the bobbin.
They've changed that.
This is no longer available like this. And I'm trying to get them to offer as an option for people who have grip issues, because these guys here is what they've gone to, and the one on here is very hard to close and move
and slide,
because they've gone to the sliding hook technique for these. The traditional is still cup holders. This one they changed. So I think I got one of the last generations when I ordered this in 2016. It was shortly thereafter they went to the sliding hooks. Right. And it makes it really difficult. David and James have visited the store twice, and this was one of the things that I did bring up to them. And a lot of my customers were like, you have to help us, because when my hands are acting up, arthritis, fibromyalgia, I can't squeeze it, but I can easily go along the hooks.
Absolutely.
This wheel also took a tumble down a flight of stairs.
Oh, for sure it did.
This piece cracked right around here, and I wasn't aware of it until a few months later. As we were using this in classes, this wheel started to wobble more. Well, I took it apart, because in order to get to this, you have to take the whole cage assembly apart.
Oh, you sure do.
I took it apart and realized that there was a crack. I took a picture, sent it to Ashford, and go, my wheel took a tumble down the stairs. I need to replace this piece. So they sent me a replacement piece. I had to pay for it, obviously, but put it back together, and it works. So when James and David came to the store, I go, oh yeah, here's the piece, because I kept the piece. I still have it somewhere. This is how it broke when it fell down the stairs, and here's the replacement. And they're like, really? I go, yeah, these are well made.
Listen, so you have to understand. So 2016, it's now 2022. This thing is still sturdy. It's stable.
Absolutely.
I would say, I part of me wants to say hundreds, but I know it's not hundreds. But at least 100 people have used this wheel in classes, and it's still going strong. And every skill level has used this, from beginners to people that have been spinning for 30 years.
Yeah.
And there is not one thing wrong with this wheel. Like, it is sturdy, it is stable. This thing will last you your life.
Yes.
Like, it truly will.
So we've probably replaced the drive band at least once.
Oh, well, if you're not replacing your drive band, you're not spinning.
Not using it.
Or you're losing them.
Or you're doing what you're supposed to do, and when you're not using it, you kick it down to the smallest so it has slack, so it's not being stretched, which is what you should be doing with any of them that have these polycord drive bands. But maintenance, oil it.
Yeah.
And they suggest every 2 or 3 times. When it starts to drag, oil it. Oil under your bobbin. That's the thing that spins around the metal rod. Oil here, oil down here, oil where it moves. If you have metal, you have to oil it. You have to oil under this piece too.
Oh, heck yeah, you do. And when it's brand new, just
keep
move that off and throw a bunch of oil.
Because this is a leather strap, and it's going to absorb that oil, and
until
it gets to
till
that
it's soft.
Point.
Yeah, till that leather gets soft.
Probably was most of your problem. But maintenance, and then every once in a while, yes, my wheels look really weathered, but we use them a lot, and all I need to do is get some wax or some finishing oil or something, and just polish them up, and they're fine. The treadles, you can tell they're used. But these are the
Who
ones that we
cares?
use. We want you guys to use them, and we want you to know how they react. And we're going to ask you those questions. What is it that you want to spin? Do you want to do something thin? We're going to recommend this one or this one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do those medium weights? You're going to want the kiwi.
Mm-hmm.
You only want this if the only thing you're going to do is art yarn.
Yeah. Or
Seriously.
unless you spin a whole lot, like I mean spin a lot,
And then you want to do.
and you want to use this for your
Yeah.
flying wheel because it will be easier.
Yep. So to touch on real quickly, I have none to show you, but the Ashford does have 2 electric spinning wheels.
Yeah, and every time you get them in, they sell.
Yes. So they have a standard one that actually uses this bobbin here, which I believe that's that 8-ounce bobbin.
Yep.
The jumbo one takes this bobbin right here. The same bobbin used on the country spinner is used on the e-spinner jumbo. Mm-hmm. It does. That's the way they did it.
Oh, it does, and I had that one.
You had the standard.
I had the standard. I did sell my standard.
You did, because you didn't like the e-spinner.
I like using my feet.
Right,
Like even, and I did get it because my feet were in a very, very, very bad place.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was not an art yarn spinner, as much as I do with the amount of tension I use, a lot of people don't use a ton of tension when they do art yarn, but I'm weird, so I have my own way. When you use a ton of tension on the e-spinners and you're like twisting and pulling for the thick and thins, and you're dragging the core when you're coiling or something like that because you want to keep things in place a little longer, when you pull back on that e-spinner, it drags the motor, and then it doesn't want to take up your stuff.
Plus, you're stopping and starting a lot, and that's not
conducive to
efficient
e-spinning.
for e-spinning.
No, it's really not. And there are some people that use the jumbo for their art yarn, and it works wonderfully for them. And I haven't tried the jumbo.
That's what Kathy uses.
I know. I'll
but
be very honest.
On the weekend, her jumbo, her battery wasn't working correctly, so she couldn't use the e-spinner. So she grabbed this.
Yeah, and went right back to this.
She was spinning on this.
Yeah, and maybe the jumbo would be different for me, but no, I'll just figure out. I'll treadle one-footed if I need to, if my feet are really bothering me.
Right.
I think I also don't get the same zen.
Right.
I don't get that rhythm. Spinning for me is very therapeutic, and when I'm not using my feet, I'm not getting that woosah zen moment that takes away all my anxiety. When you're just sitting in front of the e-spinner, for me, it's like, okay,
well,
when's
Nancy
this gonna be
even
over?
said she kicked back in her chair, and she had the e-spinner over there, and she's just like this. Next thing you know, she was falling asleep. She goes, "Nope, you can't do that."
Can you imagine falling asleep with that e-spinner going and all your fiber?
At least when you're treadling, your feet will stop.
Oh my God, right. But that e-spinner's gonna keep on going. Oh girl.
Yes.
You're gonna end up with your blanket. In the
That's her story. Yes, it was fun. So.
Oh my Lord. I want to point out a couple of
books.
That I love Ashford, mostly because everything they create for you, they also create a tool that helps you. This is the Ashford Book of Hand Spinning. I freaking love it. This book,
and this
takes
is the
you
new
through,
revised one.
Yes, this takes you through bobbin tension, the different drives,
drop spindle,
my God, how to skein, Navajo plying, how to create worsted yarn, how to card, how to use a drum carder versus hand carder. They talk about the different fibers for spinning and how to wash that. And yes, there's even pictures of cute little merino.
Yes, so what they've done with this book, this is the section that they've added is the different breeds of sheep and the wools and everything. And then they have some patterns that you can use after you've hand spun.
He's like cousin it.
After you've spun your yarn.
What is he?
Kris.
He's a Lincoln.
Those are where the long locks come from. Yes,
he just needs the little. Sorry.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take this book from you.
Take that book from me. He's so cute though. the other thing, like they even go into Rolex and every wheel. I think
Yep.
they show almost every wheel.
They show all the wheels in the back. It has all the description
I
that
think
is
that's
in this
awesome.
book. It also shows you the different components of your wheel and where you should oil your wheel. So they also have maintenance. They've covered everything.
I think it's
here.
fabulous. The other book they have that I like is just a straight up book about carding.
Yep.
And you're like, well, if it's in that book, why do I need it in this book? They actually go into it.
It's more in depth.
Way more in depth. And how to card when, let me see if I can find it. How to use a drum carder, okay, when you're actually trying to spin a specific colorway.
This gradient
Yeah,
right here.
not a lot of people like get that deep down with a drum carder, because a lot of us will just take the drum carder, throw things on it in some random helter-skelter way, and whatever we get, we get. But there is actually a way to use your blending board and your drum carder to benefit a pattern.
Yes.
In what you're doing.
They're very specific in teaching you different techniques.
Yes.
Of how to lay your colors on your blending board and your drum carder. And then again, they have patterns to support everything that they're showing in here. Color wheel, it's perfect. It's more in depth.
Yes.
This is why you need this.
I love this because that's how I teach.
Is this in the way?
I love anybody that talks about color and really helps people understand what you can put together, what you shouldn't put together.
And look in nature, because it's nature. But it's beautiful the way that they're doing all these different things. But this is more in depth, has more color palettes. It teaches you how they get the things that they do for all their yarn choices that they do as well.
And I will tell you, if you don't follow Ashford Wheels and Looms on YouTube, shame on you.
They have a blog too on their website.
They do, but they have a ton of helpful videos on YouTube. Occasionally their Facebook page will have stuff up there. I'm constantly watching everything that comes out from them.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely love them. They also have, is that the Wheel? Do they still have the Wheel magazine?
Oh yeah, it comes out once a year.
Oh, once a year?
Yeah, it's a once a year.
I thought it was twice a year.
Once a year.
I love that.
And I have those in the
Nancy
store.
almost drove me crazy with the dye class because of that Wheel magazine. Well, they did this, and then we dyed it this way so that I get the long runs of color. We are not doing that today.
But I want to do that later.
Oh, she's awesome. I love it. But, in the world of Ashford spinning, we said you have this bag. They also have the bag for the kiwi now, right? Nitty Knotties.
2 sizes. This is the 60-inch or 5-foot, and they also have a 6-foot one.
And it is
the jumbo.
It's awesome.
It's
for
great
your
for art yarn.
Oh my god!
You need it for your art yarn.
This one that I have at home, it kind of sits and does a whole lot of nothing because my other one is well loved now.
And this one gets used a lot. Again, it needs to be oiled again.
I know, but they're well loved. That's the best thing in the world.
And this is the first. So from the very beginning, this is the same Nitty Knotty, same country spinner with a new part. The original Kiwi was a Kiwi 2. The legs did not fold. When they came out with the Kiwi 3, I sold the Kiwi 2s to customers, and I got a Kiwi 3. And because you want to keep up with what they have to sell.
Absolutely.
And then they came out with the bag this year.
That bag is the best thing ever. You can fit so much stuff in that bag, and you don't think you can, but woohoo.
Yep.
For those of you that are local and haven't been in yet, come into Jeannine's, because I'm telling you right now, normally we do our video in a different part of the store. Today we're in the spinning area of the store. This area is loaded with fiber, with locks, more braids, and there's everything from Falkland and merino.
There's things to ply with. If you're going to do your own bat, we have stuff in the corners. There's merino that you can start with, and then you can add in any kind of thing that you
Merino,
want.
bamboo, all sorts of neat stuff on here. I was trying to read it, but
you can spin straight from these, or you can take these and you can put them in your bat as well.
I do that. The couple that I got from here, I put in my bats.
Yeah.
because it was easier to spin with them. Some of those have very short staple links, and they get a little annoying.
Yeah, so some of these are not straight merino. This
Merino
is
bamboo.
merino and bamboo.
Yeah, a lot of those are merino bamboo. Oh, it is super soft. For those of you that don't like to ply with regular threads, these are awesome and fun to ply with. For a limited time only, because I don't think they have any more after you're done.
It's discontinued.
It's discontinued, but this is the lovely little thread with the tiny, tiny, tiny sequins.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They are. They're very beautiful, and I do think you got their warehouse.
Almost.
So.
There's still some left. Just no purple. Sorry, Nancy.
So yeah, there's tons of. Oh, I know. There's tons of locks here. Everything that you could need as a spinner is here. All the maintenance kits that Ashford has,
just
for the
oil
different
if you need
wheels,
oil. Drive bands,
little. What are those?
Oh,
the pinchy things.
Yes, the
I lose my words today.
They're the slider hooks.
Yeah, the slider hooks. So she has slider hook replacements. So anything that you need. Do come in on the 2nd and 4th Mondays of every month. We have open spinning for those people that do spin, even if you didn't take your beginning spin here.
And
come join us.
And your 2 weeks that's going to fall in between that 2 weeks, not only do you get to come to the store whenever you want to do your homework and to practice, but that Monday night is great to see how other people do things too.
Absolutely.
And you absorb a lot when you're just sitting there watching somebody, how their hands and feet are working together. And I will tell you that my spinners have no problem answering your questions.
No,
which is fabulous.
And some of us will even answer questions you didn't ask. We'll look at you and go, would you please slow your feet down? Because a lot of new spinners, they're like on the run. They're in a race. And I had to learn that because I was moving my feet so fast. I was pushing my wheel across the room, and you guys had to put a little rubber mat under my wheel so it would stay in place.
I will tell you, in the beginning, I had to turn the music off because as the faster beats of music would happen, people would treadle to the music, and it would just really screw them up. So I had to turn it off in the beginning.
Yeah, and in core spinning, people had to sing "Let It Go" to me.
Yeah,
because I just wouldn't let the fiber do what it was supposed to do, and I was like, me and that tension thing that I have.
Yep.
So, we hope you enjoyed today.
Yeah. A lot of information again. Sorry, but you need to know what they're about, and if you have any questions, by all means, you can call the store. Look on Ashford's website. All that information that I was reading off that's in this book is on their website. It explains everything. They have great pictures.
They really do.
Yeah.
And I'll put in the links below in our description, I'll make sure you have the link to Ashford as well as a link to their YouTube page. Follow them. And guys, we are 2 weeks and a half ish away from September 1st. And if anybody's been paying attention, by September 1st, I'd like to see 100 subscribers. Now, I was out sick for a little while, so I did not have my basket up by August 1st, and I deeply apologize, but
She's sick. She was
sick. I still am trying to get back to normal. So probably Monday I will get the basket up on our Facebook site so that you can see, and we'll start the little hellos and the rules and all that for the basket that you guys can win. But we are 13 people away.
Really?
Yeah. 13, unless something happened since I checked yesterday. We are 13 people away from 100 subscribers.
Awesome.
And I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but shoot, man, 100 is a lot of people to me.
In a short period of time that we've been doing this,
Absolutely. So please share with your friends, encourage them to subscribe to our page. We just want to share as much of the fiber world as we possibly can with everybody. It's such a restful place in the crazy world that's out there that I think that everybody should discover something fiber related.
Yes.
If for nothing other than to get rid of your anxiety.
Yes, absolutely. Case in point, but we won't talk about that right
Always. So have a beautiful rest of your weekend.
Yeah, enjoy.
We will be back in 2 weeks where we talk a lot about
the Yarn Discovery Tour.
Yay! One of our favorite times of year.
All right, guys, you have a great one. We'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
Bye.